our national president, Mike Langford. Please stand and welcome him.
What do you think? A blue-collar man or what? Hey! Blue-collar men, blue-collar women. We're all working folks in this room. Thank you, brothers and sisters, but please take a seat. Please take a seat. Folks, it's good to see everybody. Delegates, alternate delegates, guests. You know, 4 years have gone quick, and I tell you, the time and the events and some of the things that George just mentioned, it's unbelievable, the amount of time and how fast it's going, but the events that's taken place. And you know, all of our brothers and sisters work hard every day. You know, everybody, they put their lives on the line in and out of these disasters that seem to be more frequent. And, you know, we always come through. You know, we're the first responders. We make sure that things are put back together and put back together correctly. And, you know, those are challenges enough. But then when you have to have the challenges of what we're facing in this country with government and with the politics the way it is and such gridlock and how it just seems to be one after another attack on working people. And it makes you sit back and think, why would this happen? Why is this taking place? You know, I'm going to get into a lot of the details and a lot of the events that's going to be taken on here at the convention. But first off, there's a few things that I want to make sure everybody's aware of. The proceedings, if you didn't get a proceeding, there's more in the back of the room there. The bags, from my understanding, they ran out of the bags that had all the preparations in it. They're putting more together, so if you didn't get one, there's more because there's plenty of them. And so they'll be ready sometime today also. But before I get into anything, I really want to make sure and introduce someone that's in the room here. I can't see right now because these lights are blinding me and it's dark out there. All I can see is figures. Denise, are you in the room? Is my wife Denise in here? I can't see you, but I hope that you're in here. You know, this lady stood by my side for 34 years now, and she's seen some of the fights and has helped me through some of these fights. You know, I got to give her all the credit in the world, and God bless you, honey. I love you, and you've been there for my side by side. You know, at this time, I want to recognize the retirees that are in the room. I'm so proud and glad that we were able to have so many retirees show up here today, because as you look at that in memoriam list, that's saddening just to think. 4 years ago, and during that 4-year period, how many of our members have deceased, and as currently as Bob Peronic just the other day, which it was a real shocker to all of us. I want the retirees to please stand up. Hold your applause until the end, but I want to recognize every one of these retirees. Jack Bostic, are you in the room? Please stand up. Bob Farrell, are you in the room? Please stand. Again, I cannot see it from up here, so I'm hoping that you're here. Larry Lehman, John Sergrew. These are executive board members, retired executive board members. Phil Trombley, John Moriarty, Jack Holland, Bill Sterner, Don Opaka, Bing Fogarty, Harry Farrell, retired executive board member, committee member, Frank Owen, retired national executive vice president, and the latest retirement, Secretary-Treasurer Gary Ruffner. Please give these folks a warm welcome. These folks worked many, many years. They've given us, paved the path on why we're here today, and has helped secure union contracts for our members throughout the literally decades. And I congratulate all of you. I'm glad you're here. I want you to be very active throughout this, because retirees, we're reaching out to you. That's part of this convention. You're going to see parts of that. We would want to get you engaged. We want to get every local engaged with the retirees. But folks, let's think about what our logo is here. Reclaim America. Think about that. What does that mean? Think about it. The attacks on working people. Millionaires and billionaires are operating and running this country. They're grueling politics. You know, if you don't have $1 billion, you can't run for office. You know, Citizens United has ruined politics in this country. Folks, we have to reclaim, retake this nation, and we have to make things change. And the only way we're going to do it is by the brothers and sisters and the guests in this room. Ain't that right? Isn't that right? We look at wages continuing to decline in areas. We've been able to fight and get wages and good wage benefits, but if you look around the country, as trade agreements are trying to be negotiated to continue to further to water down our jobs and to ship them overseas. And then you have the campaign that the SEIU is waging around here for service workers, the campaign $15, a fair wage. Brothers and sisters, what's the best way to raise wages in this country? Organizing through collective bargaining. That's the way to raise wages, is through collective bargaining. And that's what we must do. We must continue the attacks on organizing, the attacks on workers, but through collective bargaining agreements. That's your fairest and your best way to get wages in this country. Retrain America. Think about it. You're going to see some testimonials here. What's happened in the last 4 years with the Power for America Training Trust? That's our lifeline. Some of the locals here, they get it. They're doing it. We need this to become contagious. We need this to become part of our fabric of where we're doing the training. It helps us in right-to-work states, because if members are getting their training from their union, they're more apt to be good union members. Training is our lifeblood. It's the skills that our folks need. So the testimonials you'll hear this week, it's important that we take these skills back, that we institute them in our locals. Repower America. You look at what's taking place in the coal plants around this country. To me, it's just a setup for failure. Or not a failure, but to charge the highest price or any price that they want when it comes to producing power. You shut down all these plants, you can't have enough wind generators. You can't have enough solar panels. You have to have baseload energy. That's why we're pushing at every agency in the federal government to talk about carbon capture, to make coal clean, to continue running these coal plants, and to continue to have good jobs that produce power, because brothers and sisters, we all know you're not going to run an auto factory or steel mill off of a 100-acre wind farm. It's just not going to happen, is it? So we're in the face of every agency making sure that we get reliability is a key to all of this. Repair America. How many times have you heard me at regional conference speak about the infrastructure and the dire need of getting electric, gas, and water rebuilt in this country? We can't go down this path. Our systems are rated between a D- and a D+. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. We're talking the DOE, Department of Labor, the White House, continuous about the need to repair the infrastructure in this country. If you look at California, they're in desperate need of water. But we lose 7 billion gallons of water a day. Can you imagine that? Through leaky pipes. The methane that goes in this air. 60 times worse than carbon dioxide. But it's due to leaky pipes, rusty pipes, pipes that blow up, 127 years old pipes that are in the ground in the city of New York. You know, this stuff has to change. It just seems too simple, doesn't it? It just seems too simple. But we're not going to back off. We're not going to back down. We're going to continue to the fight. We're going to continue to press on. We're going to continue to make sure that our members are protected, that our members are doing the work, and that we continue to reclaim more work, and that we continue to try to take back this country. That's what's important here, brothers and sisters. You know, we're at a point in time where, you know, people get sick and death of the politics in this nation. But we got to be there. We got to get people elected. We got to get people elected that may not have an R or a D in their name, but people that are there for working people. Did everybody download the app on their phone? Friday, we're going to do a poll. We can do a live poll with that app. After you've seen videos of the candidates, of the 3 Democratic candidates, we're going to ask you to do a poll. We're going to list the others too, from Donald Trump on down. I tell you, it's become it's almost like watching Jerry Springer with Donald Trump in the race. I loved it. I laughed. I watched MSNBC last night, and I was laughing from deep in my gut. It was just like a Jerry Springer show. Oh, Trump he's picking on Perry, saying, yeah, Perry put some glasses on to make him look smarter, but hell, you can see right through them glasses. He's still an asshole. You know, it's like, wow, you couldn't write it any better than this, you know? So, it's great. It's great stuff. So anyway, we're going to do that, and we're going to do the app. And the password I'm getting here is Wi-Fi is the password? No, that's the Wi-Fi password. Okay. The password is lowercase. Everybody can get it. So put your phones back on. Just put them back on airplane mode. Okay? And to where you can get the Wi-Fi. The password is, in all lowercase, UWUA 1945. And you will get internet service because the phone service does not work very well here. We will be utilizing that app in many different ways. As you can see, the agenda's on there, all the resolutions are on there. And we will do the polling with it, which I'm excited about. I'm excited to see how the delegates here feel about the candidates. And I think that's something that we can use as a tool moving forward and beyond the convention. So I'm really excited about that. And if you think of other things that's taken place at this convention, and I'm asking all of you today to, at the conclusion of this convention, to attend the Women's Caucus. We have the chair, Valerie King. Valerie's in the room here somewhere. The vice chair, Ursula Grant. It will be immediately following this. There will be a lunch provided, so please, everybody attend. It'll be in this room. I think it's important and it's good stuff. And throughout this convention, you're going to see more with the Young Workers Committee and the good work that they've done. You're going to see stuff more on the things that we've not done before. We're recognizing a UWA workers hero, which every one of you are heroes and every one of our members are, but some that have gone really over and above the call of duty, so to speak. Retired members, the retired members chapter. I just talked to you about the app. I think it's good stuff. It's neat stuff. We got to get creative, brothers and sisters, because we have to do things like we've never done before. Doing business as usual just isn't going to get it. It's just not going to get it. We have to put our thoughts together. We have to be in solidarity like never before, because it's not like there's no bullseye on our back. You know, 25 out of 50 states now are right to work. But we have to prepare ourselves because we can't compete with the Koch brothers when they're going in state by state to make these changes. We have to prepare ourselves where right to work doesn't really matter. You know, Pat Dillon just got a first contract with some technicians at the Palisade Nuclear Plant in Michigan, 4-year fight. Michigan's a right to work state now. There's like 59 members in that group. And out of that 59 members, 55 of them have signed cards so far. So we're lacking 4, but Pat guarantees me he's going to have those other 4. So thank you, Pat. Things like that, and the skills training that's going on in that organization, things like that will keep members more active, keep members engaged, more involved. And that's what we have to do. We have to look at ways. We can't say, oh, woe is me, the sky is falling. We have to be on the upbeat, on the optimistic. You know, I like to look at that glass as being half full because there's so many folks that like to just say the sky is falling and what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to say we ain't taking it no more and we're going to kick some ass and we're going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. That's what utility workers do, brothers and sisters. That's what utility workers do. Well, with that, I think we'll move on because we got a lot of stuff to go over the next 4 days, and let's get moving here. So I would ask at this time if Craig Wright is in the room to do a partial report on the credentials.